Hi everybody, welcome to TechGrowthStocks channel. Today I present you a new episode. Specifically, I will give you 5 top tech growth stocks for 2021. So these strong tech growth stocks, they have excellent growth and they have good momentum as well. And some of them are in leading sectors, and overall the tech growth stocks have been coming back over the recent trading days. So I think it's an exciting time to get on board of some of these strong tech names. So before I start right off with the first tech growth stocks, I have to make a short disclaimer. This video does not constitute financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only, so please consider that. And also one more quick note. Please subscribe now to my channel and hit the notifications bell below so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me, and also so that you do not miss part 2 of the top tech growth stocks for March 2021, which I will be releasing soon. Okay, so that was it for the intro. So let's start right off with the first tech growth stocks for March 2021, and it is FUTU, FUTU Holdings. Here you can see the long-term chart of FUTU, and as you can see, FUTU has been an IPO in March 2019, so it's a quite young company. And why does that matter? Or why do we watch out for young companies? Because 95% of the super performance of strong stocks is happening in their first 10 years after their IPOs. So it definitely pays if you watch out for young companies, because they could have huge runs going forward. And this is what we do here on the channel. And yeah, one of these stocks is FUTU. And you can see after its IPO, it had here a little bit of downtrend, yeah, and then a base building phase, a longer base building or pausing phase, yeah. And then we see here a base breakout around May 2020, and then a formation of a very strong uptrend in FUTU since then, yeah. And in the short-term chart here, we see as well that base, yeah. And here we see the base breakout, or this from this base, yeah. Here we see the base breakout around January this year, 2021, and a very strong move to the upside. And yeah, recently, for instance, we see here we came back, and now it looks like we are bouncing. This is a 40-day moving average. Looks like we are just bouncing of the 40-day. So I think from a technical standpoint, FUTU is looking excellent here. And when we look at the growth characteristics, these are even better, way strong. I mean, the EPS growth is 997%, super strong, and so is the sales growth with plus 218%. And the relative strength rating is excellent as well, so there is excellent momentum. It is 98, the relative strength rating. So this is a way strong momentum to the upside. And I mean, we see it here in the chart. For instance, start of the year, we traded around, let's say, $50 or even less, $44, and we just recently traded up to above 200. So this was like a 5 times or 4 times move in a quite short period. I mean, this is kind of a way strong momentum, and this is exactly what we want to see in a stock. So from a momentum perspective and also from a growth perspective, FUTU is looking excellent here. And so I think with these characteristics, FUTU is definitely a top tech growth stocks for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for FUTU. So now let's have a look at the next top tech growth stock for March 2021. And it is TSLA, Tesla. Here you can see the long-term chart of Tesla, and as you can see, yeah, let's say we were moving sideways for quite some time in Tesla, let's say from around 2017 until December 2018. Then we had a short-term downtrend in Tesla, and we reversed from these downtrend lows, traded to the upside, and we formed a way strong uptrend. Let's say since end of 2019, we have been trending strongly to the upside in Tesla. And in the short-term chart here, we see that uptrend as well. Here, for instance, we had the last base, yeah, base building phase, which was around from August till November 2020. We had a period of pause in that uptrend. The base is a pausing phase, and we broke out of that base and continued strongly with the uptrend. And recently in Tesla, yeah, we came back heavily. I mean, before we had a very strong run in Tesla last year. Now we came back, and when we look in the longer term chart, looks like we are bouncing now of the 150-day moving average, so the orange line. I mean, you see it here as well. For instance, with the Corona breakdown, looks like we bounce as well around the 150-day. We found their support. Yeah, I mean, we traded below it, created up down to the 250-day moving average, but still looks like it's also a supporting point, the 150-day line. So I think soon we could be off to the races again in Tesla. I mean, that base building phase now, I think it will take some time, but at some point in time, maybe let's say around here, May to June, I think then we could continue with the uptrend, or even earlier. I mean, Tesla has a good market position, and when we look at the growth characteristics, these are very good as well. I mean, the EPS growth, it's strong, very strong, with plus 125%. I mean, the strongest, I think, what I have seen recently for Tesla. And also the sales growth, it's strong with plus 42%, and the relative strength rating, it's still good with 93. So with these characteristics, and in the lead as a leading EV vehicles provider, I think Tesla is definitely a top tech growth stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Tesla. So now let's have a look at the next top tech growth stock, and it is ETSY, Etsy. Here you can see the long-term chart of Etsy, and as you can see, Etsy is also a quite young company. It had its IPO in April 2015, so it is in its first 10 years after its IPO, and it's in its super performance phase. And what we see here, yeah, these IPO stocks, they are not without risk, and this you can see very good here with Etsy. I mean, after its IPO, the stock did not broke out like many do to the upside. No, it broke down and formed the downtrend, which lasted, let's say, yeah, till February 2016, where we made the lows with that downtrend, and from around April 2015. So it can be 1 year or half a year of downtrend, a strong downtrend just after the IPO. This is normal, and then we reversed from the lows and we could form a strong uptrend in Etsy. And yeah, then we had also a breakdown phase or consolidation correction phase in Etsy, which lasted, let's say, from around July 2019 until March 2020, when we made the lows of that with that correction phase, and we reversed from these lows, traded to the upside. We broke the downtrend, traded above the moving averages, had a very strong upside move in Etsy since then. In the short-term chart, we see that recent uptrend, strong uptrend since the March lows. And yeah, we see here as well, for instance, when we look here, here we bounced of the 100-day moving average to the upside. Here we had also kind of a bounce of the 100-day or the 150-day moving average to the upside. And now recently we just bounced off the 100-day moving average. And so I think from a technical standpoint, we are looking good here. We just bounced, and I think soon we can continue with the overall uptrend in Etsy. And here in the short-term chart, we see that as well. We see here we are building, currently we are in another base building phase. And I think soon, when if he, for instance, could trade a little bit like this here and then break out to the upside, I mean, above these highs, a little bit sideways trading and then to the upside, I think that would be a strong sign and an excellent time point to get on board with Etsy. And also the growth characteristics for Etsy, they are excellent. I mean, the EPS growth is super strong with 439%. And the sales growth is also super strong with 128%. And the relative strength rating, it's good with 90. And it's in a hot sector in the internet retail space. So I think with these characteristics, Etsy is definitely a top tech growth stock for 2021. Okay, so that was it for Etsy. So now let's have a look at the next top tech growth stock for this March, and it is ZM, Zoom Video Communications. Here you can see the long-term chart of Zoom Video, and as you can see, Zoom was an IPO in April 2019. After its IPO, it built a nice IPO base here, and it could break out of that IPO base in March 2020, form a very strong uptrend since then. And we can see here as well, we started a correction phase since or in October 2020, 19th of October, around that date. We corrected now in Zoom Video, and I think, yeah, recently we came back in Zoom Video here as well. In the short-term chart, you see that came back heavily despite very good earnings, but we came back strongly with the overall tech pullback and the growth worries and the yield increase worries. But I think that is a healthy correction. I think soon we can find a bottom, and overall in the tech growth stocks, I think overall they will continue their rise. And I mean, we need these worries, yeah. We need the wall of worry, otherwise we cannot go higher and higher. So I think for Etsy also, and now it's an interesting time point to get on board, because I think the entry level, it's not too expensive, and the growth characteristics, I mean, these are excellent for Etsy. I mean, when we look at the EPS growth, it's very strong with 4,158%. And so is the sales growth with 368%. And the relative strength rating, I mean, it's okay. Now it's not the strongest anymore, but still it's okay with 82. So I think with these characteristics, Zoom Video is definitely a top tech growth stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Zoom Video. So now let's have a look at the last top tech growth stock for March 2021 for today. And it is SQ, Square. Here you can see the long-term chart of Square, and as you can see, Square was an IPO in November 2015. After its IPO, it built a nice IPO base here, and it could break out of that IPO base around November 2016, form a nice and strong uptrend, let's say until October 2018, very strong. Then we had a correction phase, sideways moving phase, and here Corona breakdown in Square, but we could reverse from the Corona lows, trade to the upside, break the sideways or downtrending phase here, break the moving average to the upside, and form a nice and strong uptrend again. In Square, in the short-term chart, we are seeing that exactly. For instance, here you see as well, we had a period of pause. We found support in the moving average, and I had a bounce to the upside again. And this was the 50-day moving average, and here you see a bounce of the 100-day moving average to the upside. Here we had a bounce as well of the 100-day moving average, and recently it looks like we bounced off the 150-day moving average to the upside again. And yeah, here in the short-term chart, yeah, you see as well, here currently it looks like we are building a base, and I think soon we could continue the rise with the rise in Square. And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, the EPS growth, it's a little bit sluggish. It's -7%, but the sales growth is way good with plus 140%, and the relative strength rating, it's good with 89. So with these characteristics, and in a strong sector in the software space, so I think Square is, with these characteristics, definitely a top tech growth stock for 2021. Okay, so these were the tech growth stocks for 2021 for today. I hope in that video are some nice growth stocks which you can use for your research. And also, please subscribe now to my channel and hit the notifications bell below, so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me, and also so that you do not miss part 2 of the top tech growth stocks for March 2021, which I will be releasing soon. And thank you for watching that video. And I think this year will be an exciting stock trading year with all that fiscal and monetary stimulus going on around the world from all of these central banks and governments. And I think at the end of the year, we can see much higher stock prices than currently. And I think many of these tech names will still perform very well because of their strong growth and earnings potential. So I think it definitely pays to invest your time this year in research for the best tech growth stocks and tech momentum stocks, and also the best investment themes like fintech stocks or genomic stocks or biotech stocks or stocks like that. I think that will pay off many times over. And if you need stocks like this, have a look on my channel. I cover all of the themes. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.